Look closely at the rear of Ferrari's SF-26, not the lap times, not the headlines. A detail, subtle, almost invisible, that engineers across the Formula One paddock have already started studying. During pre-season analysis, cameras repeatedly lingered on the Ferrari's rear wing and exhaust area. In Formula One, when that happens, it usually means something unusual is happening in the airflow. Nothing officially confirmed, no statements from Maranello, yet the attention inside the paddock keeps growing. Technical observers, aerodynamic specialists, and long-time F1 analysts have begun connecting the images with a broader context. A new regulatory cycle, a completely new Ferrari project, and Lewis Hamilton arriving exactly at this moment. So the real question becomes unavoidable. Is this just another design detail, or the first clue that Ferrari may have discovered something others haven't yet fully understood? Before we go deeper, make sure to subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments where you're watching from right now. I read every single one of them. During the early technical reviews of the Ferrari SF-26, something subtle began to stand out. Not a dramatic design feature, not a radical aerodynamic surface. Instead, attention slowly gravitated toward the rear of the car, specifically the area where the exhaust flow interacts with the surrounding aerodynamic structures. At first, the detail appeared almost ordinary. The rear wing looked familiar. The exhaust outlet followed the general layout permitted by the regulations, but in Formula One, appearances rarely tell the full story. Engineers are trained to notice patterns that others miss, and in several analysis sessions, that rear section of the Ferrari kept appearing in conversations between technical observers. Images from pre-season running began circulating among analysts. Slow-motion footage, aerodynamic flow visualizations, and high-resolution photos revealed something intriguing. The airflow around the rear of the SF-26 appeared remarkably stable under acceleration. In a sport where instability at the rear can cost precious tenths of a second, that observation immediately raised questions. Because stability at the rear of a Formula One car is not just a comfort factor for the driver. It determines how confidently a driver can apply throttle when exiting a corner. And when the driver in question is Lewis Hamilton, that detail suddenly becomes even more interesting. Hamilton has always been known for his extraordinary sensitivity to car balance. Throughout his career, from McLaren to Mercedes, engineers frequently highlighted his ability to extract performance from a car that communicates clearly through the rear axle. That is why the discussion surrounding the Ferrari SF-26 carries an additional layer of intrigue. Technical observers have suggested that the airflow behavior near the rear of the car appears unusually controlled. If the exhaust flow interacts with the surrounding aerodynamics in a precise way, it could help stabilize airflow toward the rear wing and diffuser. And when airflow becomes more stable, the car becomes more predictable under power. Ferrari has not confirmed any unconventional concept in this region of the car. The team has remained cautious and discreet in public statements, which is not unusual in Formula One. Teams rarely reveal design intentions before the competitive phase of the season begins. But inside the paddock, engineers from rival teams pay close attention to exactly these kinds of details. Because Formula One history shows that the most important innovations often begin with something that initially looks small. In 2009, Brawn GP introduced the now famous double diffuser. At first glance, it looked like a minor aerodynamic interpretation of the rules. Yet that concept dramatically improved airflow efficiency and helped the team dominate the early part of the season. A few years later, Red Bull pushed the concept of exhaust-influenced aerodynamics even further. By carefully directing exhaust gases toward the diffuser area, the team managed to stabilize airflow at the rear of the car. That approach contributed significantly to Red Bull's championship success during the early 2010s. Then came the dual-axis steering system from Mercedes in 2020, a seemingly simple idea, allowing the driver to adjust wheel alignment by pulling the steering wheel, triggered intense debate across the paddock and forced every team to reconsider how the regulations could be interpreted. What connects these moments is not complexity, it is timing. Each of those innovations appeared during periods when teams were still exploring the limits of the rulebook. And that is exactly the situation Formula One finds itself in today. The 2026 regulations represent one of the most significant technical resets in modern Formula One history. New power unit philosophies, major changes in energy deployment strategies, and evolving aerodynamic frameworks have forced teams to rethink almost every aspect of car design. When a new regulatory cycle begins, no team has perfect answers. Every team experiments. Every engineer searches for efficiencies hidden inside the regulations. And occasionally, one team interprets those rules just a little bit better than the others. If the Ferrari SF-26 has indeed achieved a particularly efficient airflow behavior at the rear of the car, that advantage may not be immediately visible in lap times alone. Instead, it could appear gradually. A car that remains stable during acceleration allows the driver to commit earlier on corner exits. Over the course of a lap, those small gains accumulate. Over the course of a race distance, they can become decisive. And over the course of a season, they can shape the entire competitive narrative. This is why the timing of Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari has captured so much attention across the sport. The seven-time world champion did not join the team during a stable technical era. He joined precisely when Formula One entered a new chapter of regulation and innovation. Throughout the history of the sport, these transition periods have often reshaped the competitive landscape. When Michael Schumacher joined Ferrari in the mid-1990s, the team was entering a long rebuilding phase. Over time, a combination of engineering development, strategic stability, and driver leadership transformed Ferrari into the dominant force of the early 2000s. No one is suggesting that history will repeat itself in exactly the same way. Formula One rarely follows predictable scripts, but the combination of factors surrounding Ferrari right now is undeniably compelling. A legendary driver beginning a new chapter, a team entering a new technical era, and a design detail that has quietly captured the attention of rival engineers. Inside the paddock, that kind of combination tends to generate questions. Engineers look again at photographs. Analysts compare airflow patterns between different teams. Technical journalists start asking careful questions in the garage areas. And sometimes, the true significance of a design detail only becomes clear once the cars are racing wheel to wheel. Because when the lights go out and the cars accelerate toward the first corner, theories give way to reality. The behavior of the car under braking, during corner entry, and especially during acceleration, will reveal whether those early observations about the SF-26 were meaningful or simply part of the usual pre-season speculation that surrounds every new Formula One machine. For now, one fact remains undeniable. The rear of the Ferrari SF-26 has attracted attention inside the paddock. Whether that attention reflects a clever aerodynamic interpretation or simply an interesting design choice is a question that only the upcoming races can answer. And that leads to the real question now, hovering over the start of the 2026 season. Did Ferrari simply build a well-balanced car capable of fighting at the front from the beginning of the year? Or did engineers in Maranello quietly uncover something within the regulations that other teams are only beginning to understand? Because if that detail on the SF-26 proves to be significant, the opening races of this new era in Formula One may reveal far more than just performance numbers. They may reveal the first real indication of where the competitive balance of the sport is heading. And in Formula One, sometimes the smallest detail is the one that changes everything. So what do you think? Did Ferrari uncover something clever in the design of the SF-26 that rivals initially overlooked? Or is this simply another example of the endless technical curiosity that surrounds every new Formula One season? The discussion is already unfolding across the paddock. And now, the conversation continues here.